What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Plastic Cards Podcast, episode 7. Today's April 15th. I'm riding solo today. It's just me talking to myself in a room, filming a nicest video, what looks like. My buddy Gavin Jones is not here today. I'm Fonze, by the way. So we'll try and channel Gavin's intelligence because I'm the worst person to be doing this alone. So good thing I'm running the ship today. So yeah, we'll get it going. The idea was to talk about games and the game news. Well, I'll just kind of go it alone. But so this week, as far as what I've been playing, let's see, I've been playing some Fallout 76. That was kind of interesting to get into because, you know, with the horrible release they had and the months they had to kind of figure it out. I mean, the game runs. This is my first time jumping into it. It was cool, but it does make you miss what the original Fallout was. Not having that single player option. It's a bummer because the game is basically live. You can't pause it. It's just kind of a weird change, you know, just getting used to the different mechanics. But otherwise, the structure's there. You know, the skeleton of Fallout 4 is there, and it's basically not a huge improvement over Fallout 4. I mean, which I'm fine with. I love Fallout 4. But yeah, you have the live mechanic to it, so it's intended to play with other people. I have no interest in playing with other people, but I can see that that's there. That's neat. So I'm just I'm maybe 2 hours into it. It is fun. It's cool. As far as playing with other people, yeah, I don't want to do any of that, but they do give you a pretty clear, you know, path to just play on your own, which is cool. But for the most part, I mean, it's a huge map, so you don't really have to interact with anyone. Any interactions I've had, it's just, you know, as you're checking your Pip-Boy or whatever, someone's coming up to you and punching you in the face. And it's just like, all right, dude, that's cool. But yeah, otherwise, no one can really hurt you unless you engage them back. So it's just kind of a weird world, but I mean, it is beautiful. I really love how they've really focused on color. The past Fallouts have just been super gray and washed out and just a bummer. And this, you know, with as far as the lore goes, with the bombs having just dropped, what it's been like 76 years, 100 years until humanity has gone out of the vault. So everything still has some life to it, some color. It's just, you know, crazy radiated, but the colors are there. And it seems like there's super interesting locales. I'm just kind of barely traveling through it, but I'm digging it. It's interesting. You have to kind of change the way you feel about it to get into it. So I find myself tricking my mind into liking it when really at face value, it may not be for me, but I'm kind of adjusting my expectations for what Fallout should be so that I can have fun, you know, in this multiplayer focused version of Fallout. But yeah, ideally I would have loved, you know, this would have been fine as its own standalone for me, its own standalone kind of DLC that you'd buy on its own that's separate from, you know, not Fallout 5, not Fallout 4, somewhere in the middle, but I would have totally paid $40 for this, just single player, just let me play this on its own. Even though there's no dialogue, you know, totally just let me go through the world. But I don't want to crap on it. You know, I really dig that Bethesda's doing this and trying something new. And I want to support it, even though I can kind of tell this isn't for me. But I like having it now that as they've announced other, you know, DLC down the line, that I can jump in and kind of see what the changes have been. But yeah, been playing that. Also over the last week, so there's the Resident Evil 2 remake Capcom released kind of for $5 you can unlock all of the unlockables, where you can have a knife that has unlimited use, or the rocket launcher with unlimited ammo, the machine gun unlimited ammo. So you can really just kind of go feel like a boss through Resident Evil 2. It was actually pretty cool. That was fun to play through and just not feel scared anymore and just run through it with, you know, infinite rocket launcher ammo. It was pretty cool. So now you can play. My intention is to play on the super hard mode with now, you know, just unlimited ammo. But it's just kind of a nice way, since the game's, you know, it's been out for a couple months now. So it's a cool way to let people just unlock everything and jump into it and have fun. And I think that was a great idea. But as far as any games, that's really all I've been playing. So let's get into some of the game news. Not a whole lot happened this week, which is fine, but there were some kind of big announcements at the same time. But it's really the big one for the whole week was the new Star Wars game that Respawn announced. So let's get into that. So it's Star Wars Fallen Order, which is pretty cool because it's going to be developed. It is developed right now by Respawn, who do Titanfall, and it's a single player focused experience, which is awesome. I think a lot of people are excited for that. The fact that they're just kind of, getting back to single player. I have some data pulled up, but within the past couple of years, there's been kind of an idea that maybe single player games are dying out, but that's absolutely not the case. I mean, the fact that EA is really putting money into this shows that they also have to get in the good graces of, Star Wars fans, gamers in general, but this is a good way to that. But they wouldn't do it unless there's money to be made, and there's definitely money to be made. But so we've pulled up this article from, of course, there's a train right now. Pulled up this article from IGN. This is from, that is the loudest train, I think. I think it gave birth to another train halfway through that horn sound. Yikes. It doesn't help that I have the window open. It just gets hot in here, and yeah. But so I have the article pulled up by Jonathan Dornbush of IGN. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Let me back that up. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order release date, trailer, gameplay details revealed. So this was from, what was this from? April 14th. This was last week. So we have, after a couple of teases, EA and Respawn Entertainment have finally revealed the first details about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. For some reason, saying that in one sentence seems weird, including its release date and on what platforms players can expect it. So yeah, I'm gonna jump out of the article, but so we have a release date November 15th, which is pretty soon, and it's awesome that they are committing to that date and having that as part of the reveal. I think a lot of big AAA developers are not saying anything until it's basically ready to go that year or a couple months down the line. They're really not. They're just holding it close to the chest until it's ready to announce. I like that. I like it a lot. So yeah, we have typical releases: Xbox, PS4, PC. Yeah, so it's pretty cool to see Respawn doing that. I trust them completely. This isn't going to be, although it's strange, it's not going to be a shooter-focused game. And primarily they've done these shooter games with Titanfall. So I'm sure they'll handle it awesome. Some of the trailer shows the main character, parkouring and kind of running off stuff. And there's a lot of, it's action heavy, single player game. So I trust that they'll know what they're doing. It's just kind of it's not just a shooter kind of thing. But yeah, pretty cool. I think everyone's on board. What I found super interesting was the fact that, and this is really just EA's advertising campaign, but they really were promoting heavy on Twitter the fact that there's no loot boxes, there's no microtransactions, it's just a single player experience, which is great. But they created that problem in the first place, with Battlefront. Battlefront 2 having such horrible loot boxes and really angering their base. So they kind of created that problem, and now they're like, oh, okay, well, we're getting back to the, the true experience. Well, that's how it should have been in the first place, but that's fine. At least they're getting back to that. But yeah, that was a big reveal. That was revealed at the Star Wars celebration event, where they also showed the trailer for the new Star Wars, and it looks dope. Super excited. So that's that one. Let's go to this. This kind of leaked late last week too. So there's been multiple leaks and rumors and stuff kind of coming up to the industry, but the eventual reveal of a discless Xbox One S is kind of becoming more and more real. So I'm going to pull that article up. So this leaked through a German advertisement company over the weekend or over the last week. So I have the article pulled up by Digital Trends. This is Xbox One S all digital design, price reportedly revealed by the leak. So I'm just going to paraphrase from the article, but we have this German blog, WinFuture, got a hold of some of the advertisement images, and it looks just like a regular Xbox One S, but some of the actual box art are promoting the fact that it's a 1 terabyte diskless Xbox One S. It has pre-installed or at least download codes for Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, Forza Horizon 3, for some reason not Forza Horizon 4, which just released. But yeah, so the another interesting side to this is that it's so they're promoting it, at least in as far as the price goes in euros, it's 230 euros, which equates to about $260 US, if that's the price they'll go with just across the board as far as US release and European release. That's pretty steep. 260 seems kind of high. When me and Gavin were kind of theorizing, like if they could hit a $150, $200 mark, that would have been perfect. Just to, because they're at the end of the generation, just to get the last couple of people who are just kind of watching on the side to jump in. I mean, 150 would have been perfect. That would have been a no-brainer. But yeah, so this is still the European side of these leaks going on. So maybe the price will change in the U.S. What's also interesting, doesn't look like it's being bundled with some kind of Xbox Game Pass or Xbox Live promotion. So that would have been a good tie-in. Also, the 1 terabyte. And if you're going only digital, 2 terabyte is kind of where they should start at. 3 terabyte ideally, but I mean it is what it is. You're kind of getting a base model here, Xbox One S. So yeah, it's just more and more leaks, eventually leading to their announcement, which is tied to this next news article here. I have the Inside Xbox for April, which is happening very soon. So this, which maybe they'll announce it here, maybe they won't, maybe they'll wait till E3. But Tuesday, April 16th, which is tomorrow, is the next Inside Xbox, which is where they make a lot of, or just kind of make updates on games they're releasing, somewhat announcements. So they might go ahead and announce that here or wait till E3. But the rumor is June is when this console will release. So yeah. But I'll pull up this next article we have from IGN, Brandon Tyrell. April's Inside Xbox to tease Microsoft's E3 plans. So we have this Xbox Inside Xbox coming up. I'm going to read from the article. Inside Xbox, Microsoft's monthly Xbox live stream showcase returns next week with a look at what the gaming giant has planned for E3 2019. Additionally, Gears 5 developer The Coalition studio head Rod Ferguson will be on hand with some details that could be concerning Gears 5 or Gears Tactics, but will likely be related to the Gears Pro Circuit. The 1-hour episode will stream live on Tuesday, April 16th at 2 p.m. Pacific with new details on the Sea of Thieves anniversary, which is turning Rare's pirate adventure into 2 different experiences. Interesting. We'll also get new looks at Warhammer, Chaos Bane, and Rage 2, the latter of which will be highlighted all month long as part of our Rage 2 IGN First. Awesome. So, yeah, potential move for them to announce that discless Xbox, but at least some news on upcoming Xbox titles. I'm really digging that monthly news drop with Inside Xbox, and similar with PlayStation. They have their, I forget the name, but they have their monthly now kind of controlled announcement thing. God, I forget the name of that, but I'm digging that. They're just kind of, they control when they're making these announcements, and it gets everyone all eyes on them for a moment. I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, let's keep going down here. So I really wanted to talk about this one with Gavin because I'm not a huge, Souls fan or Sekiro fan, but I did want to touch base on how Sekiro's been selling. So I'm pulling up this article from IGN again. This is from Colin Stevens of IGN. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice sells 2 million copies in 10 days. Yeah, it's awesome. That kind of ties back to the whole EA willing to spend the money on having Respawn develop a single-player game. Is that single-player games are really, they're shining. They're super lucrative. They're still make a lot of money. I imagine maybe they take less money to develop for than some kind of live game, like a game as a service where you're constantly updating. You have to do it with servers, and you have to do it with DLC that's rolling out, and that's a huge undertaking. It can be lucrative. I imagine crazy lucrative. You have Fortnite, you have, just all the PUBG, all the big players in that field. But there's also something to be said about single player games and devoting your time and money to developing that. So, just wanted to pull up how they sold 2 million in 10 days, which is awesome. That's not shipped. That's actually sold too, which is a huge deal. So I'm going to read from the article here. So this is from Colin Stevens. From Software, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice has sold 2 million copies in just 10 days. Revealed by publisher Activision, this number was achieved between sales on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Activision confirmed to IGN that this is sold through to consumers and includes both digital and physical sales on all platforms. It's pretty awesome. They also, Colin goes into detail on some of the streaming data. So it was pretty popular on Twitch too. So I'm going to read from the article. Activision also revealed that Sekiro was the most viewed game on Twitch on its launch day, with over 631 million minutes watched during its launch weekend and 1.1 billion minutes watched within 1 week of release. That's nuts. So yeah, I mean, they're doing awesome. It's not a game I want to play at all, just because it looks so crazy hard. But I love that game is out there for people that hate themselves and want to torture themselves. So go for it, go nuts. I love that that's there. That shows that it's not really something on the fringe, but it shows that these maybe not mainstream experiences, they're for enough people that these developers can make money doing that. They can cater to a smaller chunk of, the audience, and it can still be lucrative. It can still be worth it for them to spend the time and develop something like that. This is definitely not a game for everyone, and they can still sell gangbusters just making a game for a specific group of people that are maybe not the coolest people to talk to or hang out with, that love just torture, and that's awesome. And I makes me want to just buy the game just to support that. I love it. I had enough. When I talked to Gavin about it, I had hard enough time with Zelda, and so I can't imagine playing this and not wanting to kill myself. But yeah, the reason why I pulled that article up was also to kind of show how these single player games they're really doing awesome, and it's whatever kind of feeling that was out there for the past couple of years that they were on their way out or in trouble, these single player experiences, that's not the case at all. So I wanted to pull up some of the last notable, really big released single player games and the sales they made, or at least some of the units that they shipped. So we have, like I was playing RE2. So the RE2 remake shipped 4 million units. I'm going in most recent to late last year, but we have Kingdom Hearts 3, which is a big one. That one shipped 5 million units. We have Devil May Cry. That was a huge release. That actually sold 2 million units in 2 weeks. So very similar to Sekiro as far as the sales go. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. We have 1.5 million units sold in the first week. Then going back a little bit further, PS4 Spider-Man. 9 million units sold, and then God of War 2018 sold 5 million units in the first month. So yeah, they're definitely doing good. These are the high profile releases, but I mean they're selling. So yeah, I just wanted to pull that up and how it's a big deal. Not everyone is playing these looter shooters and multiplayer experiences. Like there's still a huge demand for these just dedicated single player experiences, but. Yeah, as far as some of the news, not a whole lot going on. I was hoping Gavin would be here to help fill in some of the gaps there, just as far as extending that news cycle time. But yeah, he's somewhere. He's dead in a ditch. I don't know. So let's see. We have some games I think I'm going to save for Gavin as far as some interesting games coming up that I wanted to get his take on, being the indie developer extraordinaire that he is. So other than that, let's go to some of the games coming up this week. And there are some actually pretty cool games coming out this week. So one of them is April 16th. We have on PC this game called Anno 1800, which is, for me, totally up my alley because I'm really big into these city planner, city simulator games lately with we were talking about Island last week, or City Skylines. I'm just a huge nerd for these. And so this is a city simulator builder game based in the industrial age. So the dawn of the industrial age. I'm pulling up the Steam page right now. Anno 1800. Lead the Industrial Revolution. Welcome to the dawn of the industrial age. The path you choose will define your world. Are you an innovator, an exploiter, a conqueror, or a liberator? How the world remembers your name is up to you. What I found interesting, so I'm looking at some of the footage. You're building your city, but you're also developing like a workforce at the same time because it's tied to the industrial age. It seems really unique and awesome. And hopefully not too hard to grasp right off the bat because I'm an idiot. That's what I love about Islanders is that you can just jump in and kind of figure it out along the way. But this looks dope. Looks up my alley. I don't know if my laptop will be able to play it without bursting into flames, but I will try. This one is not for me, but I wanted to get Gavin's take on it. So he was playing Final Fantasy VII, I want to say on Switch. And so what we have is Final Fantasy X and /X2 HD Remaster on Xbox One and Switch. So I'm wondering if he's going to be playing that and how he feels about that one. I'm not at all a Final Fantasy fan, but I dig that those games are out there. I totally understand the importance and how huge of an impact they have on everyone in the industry and fans in general. So I'm not gonna crap on it. It's just never been for me, but I respect it. Just can't get the hair. There's the big hair and swords that are the size of people, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so World War Z. This game doesn't look terrible, but you can tell there's a reason why they are withholding these copies going out to reviewers and sites, gaming sites. I think they fear some of the horrible reviews it might get. It doesn't look terrible. It just looks super generic. Just nothing to write home about. But I mean, let's pull this up. It reminds me a lot of a third-person janky Left 4 Dead, but it is team-based. You're fighting these zombies. Maybe it ties to the books, which I think the movie was based on. There might be some fanfare there where, maybe they're more close to the books and they can kind of bring people in that way. But you're just shooting hordes of zombies, which, that's fine. That's got to be still fun, at a base level. So even if everything else is just not, not locked in, maybe that's going to be fun at the very least. So, yeah. I'll pause here. We can go back. So we have World War Z coming out. That is tomorrow, April 16th. And some of these two big ones are Switch releases, which are on Wednesday. We have, I believe it's Wednesday. We have Thursday. We have Cuphead on Switch. That one I can't wait for. I can't wait for it, but at the same time, just like Sekiro, I mean, it's so flipping hard that I'm not going to be able to play that. I tried on Xbox One, but could not get very far through it. I dig that it's on Switch. Maybe I think that's a way for me to, just because so much time has passed since I really gave it a shot, I'll try to get on Switch and see how that goes. But I don't foresee myself getting any farther than I did on Xbox One. But I dig that game so much. The art style is so cool. The combat looks so cool. It's just so hard. But I respect that still. A lot of it comes down to respect. It's not for me. I wish I could kind of overcome that and experience it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, but I'll give it a shot. But yeah, we got Cuphead on Switch. We have Katana Zero on Switch coming out April 18th. That one also looks really, really dope. I wanted to get Gavin's take on that. Maybe he'll play it by next week. But that one is super interesting. So how would you explain it? So we're pulling up footage. We don't have to explain it. We can pull up footage. It's just this side-scrolling 2D, 16-bit, just beautiful, like Castlevania-style game. It looks awesome. It looks very challenging too, very super hard, but I'm on board for this. I cannot wait. I need to get back into that. What was the name of the game I was playing on Switch? It was like a shinobi kind of Ninja Gaiden like game. I'm drawing a blank, but it reminds me of this as far as just like the intensity, the difficulty level. But this looks awesome. Cannot wait. So that comes out this week. And another one that really I needed Gavin to kind of dissect, because I'm not a big fighter game. I'm not a big person into fighting games, but Gavin is, and he really kind of watches that scene. There was a moment from that Kotaku posted. It's from Evo. This is like 15 years ago. It was a Evo competition but it's called Evo Moment 37, and it was just new footage from that event. I'm gonna bring this up again with Gavin, but the video is awesome. It's just you don't even have to know what's going on. They're playing Street Fighter, and you can obviously tell that it's a heated match. It's that classic like when you play with your little brother situation where one player wins one round, the other player wins the second round, and then it's down to that last third round, and they're just blocking and pairing off each other, and it's perfect. It's awesome, and the way one of these guys wins at the end is just nuts. And I'm sure, this is a well-known event or moment in fighting game history. I didn't realize this was a thing. So I'm going to save that for him, show him some of the footage, get his take on it. But I dug when I saw that on Kotaku. I thought that was pretty cool. So, dang, we just went through it. Talked about the news, talked about what's coming up this week, and what I'll save for next time is some of these games I really wanted to get Gavin's take on that are just going to be really interesting coming up. So, yeah, that's it. I think we'll end it there. Just a short episode just to kind of get it out there, and just, really missing Gavin. Hopefully he comes back and recovers from his severe diarrhea, he had over the weekend. I'm hoping that, that works out for him. And we'll get him in here this upcoming week. And I think we'll end it there. Thanks everyone. This has been Plastic Hearts Podcast, episode 7. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.